Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Our panelists are already lined up, so let's convene tonight's summit. And joining us today, head of Advanced Reality Lab at Berkovitz University, Professor Doron Friedman, Dror Globerman, host of the innovation television show Next and podcast While You Were Working, and tech editor for the Israel Hayom Daily, Uri Berkovitz. Thank you, gentlemen, so very much for joining us tonight. Our main topic, the human race to end the human race. What? IA is definitely on the roll. Should it, could it, would it be stopped? Let's take a closer look and pick it up from there.
It may be artificial, but it is getting more intelligent. The rise of artificial intelligence, or AI, has been featured in science fiction movies for years as a sign of a dystopian future. And whilst it has been used in a variety of ways in the past, such as facial recognition or targeted advertisements online, over the past few years, it has become more accessible for users, allowing them to create art, music, or poetry for free. The most widely known source for this is ChatGPT, an AI chatbot from OpenAI, but both Microsoft and Elon Musk have also spent billions on their own brand, suggesting that this is where they believe the future is heading. As AI is becoming further incorporated into daily life, many are welcoming it with open arms, citing its benefits for productivity and efficiency, whilst many people are concerned with its lack of transparent regulation and potential misinformation, leading to dangerous consequences. Furthermore, there are fears it could replace several working professions. Sony World Photography Award 2023 winner Boris Eldagson refused his award after admitting his photo was created with the help of artificial intelligence. So, if everything is available on demand, could this be the end of, among other industries, the creative sector? Or will the need for human input always prevail? How should AI be regulated? Who should own the copyright for what AI creates, the person who inputted the data or the machine? Should the general public fear or embrace AI? What's next for artificial intelligence?
So let's get to it, gentlemen. What is next for artificial intelligence? As always, we begin with our quick fire round, 30 seconds each to let your initial stance on the matter, and we pick up the conversation from there. So Professor Friedman, please take the lead.
Okay. So the big question is artificial general intelligence. That's the big quest that people are fighting for. And the big question is, are these models that we see today on the right way there, or are we missing fundamental steps? A few years ago, people would have said reinforcement learning is the promising approach. And suddenly these language models that only understand the next word prediction surprised us in how good they are. Obviously, there's many more steps to do, like converging these approaches, going into...
Okay. Yeah, we will make a quick stop right here, Professor Friedman, and I'll, of course, elaborate in a second. Mr. Globerman, your thoughts?
So new AI tools will infiltrate our jobs, companies, school, health services, governance, law enforcement systems, and they will offer immense productivity and seemingly unrivaled efficiency and fairness. But people will start losing grasp on their jobs. They will understand less why they were laid off. Why is this the right medical treatment or proper taxation? Even why were they arrested by the police? This is happening today, by the way. So imagine the public unrest. And those are by far the lighter of possible catastrophes. Some people do predict that this will be the end of human race.
Oh my God. Okay, last but not least, Uri Berkovitz, your thoughts?
The biggest problem might be mistrust that is caused by the endless ability of endless amount of people to create what they want, to say what they want, and still sound reliable. I maybe can compare it to the change between the era of gunpowder to the era of nuclear power. The nuclear power has much more capabilities. It's much more strong than a huge gunpowder bomb, but it also much more frightening and remind us that we must restrain this powers.
Okay, gentlemen, on that note, let's please feel free to interact. Mr. Globerman, I do want to begin from the point you just made. Let's cut to the chase. Are robots going to take our jobs? No jobs left?
Well, we've just seen an estimation that AI will be able to take the role of 300 million employees in the foreseeable future, in the coming years. And we definitely see those technologies infiltrate and change immensely many professions right now, such as code writing, such as health services. This is happening now. Design, marketing, lawyers, content producers, many more. Actually, every occupation that has to do anything with data, which is more or less anyone, is at risk or danger or potential of great and promising change. And it definitely holds both sides. And I like the comparison that Uri, Mr. Berkovitz, just made to nuclear technology. It can bring, lots of wealth and power to the world, and it can destroy it. And right now, as far as nuclear weapon is concerned, we have the NPT, right? The world is trying to limit the proliferation of this technology. Nobody is aware of the dangers of artificial intelligence right now.
Professor Friedman, do you share those grim predictions?
No, I'm much more optimistic. I think we have some time to discuss these things, and we are quite far from this artificial general intelligence. Now, we already have technologies that are impacting our lives today, but you have to not confuse technologies like social media, which are maybe not intelligent enough and are very dangerous. Okay, so we have to be careful not to confuse AI with technology in danger and about the way we use technology. Now, am I scared? Look, we are in the Middle East. I'm not sure it's on the 10 top list of things to be scared of. Is it exciting? Yes. Should we pay attention? Yes. Should we think about how is it going to impact not only the job market, lots of other factors? Yes, definitely yes. Don't want to make this a boring argument, but I agree. It's a serious time to discuss these things. Should we be scared? Absolutely not.
But Professor Friedman, you've mentioned, you said we have time, but do we really, Uri Berkovitz? We've seen what happened with social media and regulation. Social media far ahead, regulation still fails to catch up. Is AI research moving too fast, and/or is regulation moving too slow?
It has always been like that, and the reason I chose to compare it with nukes is that once nukes were introduced, it was clear, actually not the nukes themselves, but the destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it was clear to anyone that this kind of technology should be only in the hands of few. It has to be very fast and very tightly regulated. And see, until now, and although all the warnings, not even one bomb was detonated, not even a dirty bomb. So we are talking about this kind of scale. And by the way, if we live in about Professor Friedman's remark about the Middle East, about not the first 10 things to worry about, I've actually just a week ago published an article when I interviewed a lieutenant colonel in the Israeli army, and I asked him specifically about this issue. Well, the army is not happy about it. But we have to live with the fact that terrorists and other people around the world will have the capabilities that so far were only in the hands of states. But the bright side of it is that this is life. They are advancing, we are advancing, and the challenge is to be always on top.
Well, I do want to circle back, Mr. Globerman, to one point you've made earlier in our discussion. When it comes to education or the role of humans in human lives, will it change the way we learn? Or you know what, I'll go as far as to ask, will it nullify knowledge?
It definitely changes dramatically the dynamics in which knowledge transfers. And I think all of your viewers can maybe roll back in their imagination to the world that preceded computers or internet. And can you explain someone the huge revolution that those technologies made to knowledge? Well, it's hard even now to explain the immense change. Artificial intelligence brings the same amplitude of change, maybe even larger, to our world. The way things move and change and knowledge shifts business models and our own self-esteem and role in life, and the way companies work, the way governing works. Everything is about to change, and I'm in no position to compete with Professor Friedman, who is a very acclaimed scientist, about where science is now. But the point I want to make is how slowly do regulatory systems and judiciary change and adapt to that. And the point you made, Eli, about social media is very precise. We've had this technology of social media for almost 20 years now, and we still don't know how to deal with it, while we definitely see how it changes in the most profound way our economics and our democracies all around the world. So if we are about to wait 20 years until we understand what AI is doing to our society and economics and democracy and self-esteem and position in life, well, we are very, very late. And in this moment, I do understand why Elon Musk and other scientists join forces and call for a pause in deploying and developing those technologies. And
we will discuss that right after the break. But we are nearing at the end of the first part of our discussion. And Professor Friedman, as an academic, as a scientist, I do want to ask you. Is it essential, or is it too dangerous? Is it a slippery slope, so to speak, to put restrictions on scientific advancement? And I'm asking you that as a supporter or an optimistic when it comes to AI.
Yeah, I think if something bothers me, it's the opposite. And it's not transparent enough. It's become a game that can be played, at least at the moment. Again, these things might change. At the moment, it's a very big game that can only be played by a few huge companies, and they are not transparent enough. So at the moment, I think transparency can help. If you ask me, like, the nice thing that happened in the last few years, if you would have asked me, I would have said, ask me again this question 50 years. And now I'm saying, okay, 10 years from now, we should rediscuss these questions seriously. This is about AI becoming too intelligent for us. Now, all the other things I'm hearing from my esteemed colleagues, I think I would have to disappoint you and agree, but this is, in general, about our interdependence and co-evolution with technology. It's not necessarily new about AI.
Okay.
I hope this is...
Yeah. Uri Berkovitz, in the short time we have left, I must ask, I am no artist, but is AI the end of artists, or is it just a new form of art?
Has video killed the radio star?
Fair enough. And on that note, I don't think we can have a better ending to the first part of our conversation. We will be taking a short break now, but when we get back, yes, we talk about who holds the control over AI. Maybe this is the most fundamental question here. So, Mr. Dror, Globerman, Mr. Uri Berkovitz, and Professor Doron Friedman, you're staying with us a few minutes, and we're back with our summit.
If you could travel to the Middle East right now without packing and without a plane ticket, would you? We are in Tel Aviv, Israel. Welcome to i24 News Digital. Here, we bring Israel and the entire Middle East right to your social networks. on your phone, on your desktop. Here, i24 News creates videos especially made for social media. And believe me, we are out there working hard.
Right here.
Israel and Nepal.
For the very first time.
Is how they begin. Making original content. Streaming live, even in the hard moments.
There are literally rockets going off. I'm in a bomb shelter.
And filming docuseries. With us, you will find all the big stories you missed on television. So join i24 News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and discover the Middle East with us.
فأنا قررت إنه أخذ هالمخلفات الطعام وأطلع منها برودكت شبيه بالبلاستيك، بس هذا البلاستيك ممكن يكون biodegradable، فإحنا وقت اللي إحنا بنبطل محتاجه ممكن هو بيتحلل وما بيكون ضار للبيئة.
La zona donde hay full comida.
Strictly Security, your weekly look into security, intelligence, and strategic affairs. Our team brings the latest on the major international conflicts, analysis of the major security issues right here in the Middle East and around the globe. Saturdays, only on i24 News.
Sometimes it's tough to get past all the noise and get to the heart of the story. Even tougher to make sense of it all. And that's where we come in. I'm David Matlin, and each weekday I'll take on the most important topics, breaking down the issues so you can decide for yourself. Zoom in each weekday here at i24 News.
The Middle East is changing. Old alliances make way for new partnerships.
Bigger threats lead to new relationships, and shared goals mean new opportunities.
We speak to those who know the inside story and are at the heart of the changes.
Don't get caught up with the same old story.
Find out what's happening in Middle East Now.
Middle East Now on i24 News.
Welcome back to the summit. Still with us, Professor Doron, Friedman, Dror, Globerman, and Berkovitz. Thank you, gentlemen, very much for staying with us. We're also staying on topic, but before we get back to our conversation, barring the long-standing question from the debate over gun control, is it guns who kill people, or people who kill people? Let's take a listen to part of an Elon Musk interview with Tucker Carlson on his Fox News show this week, and pick it up from there.
I'm going to start something which you call truth GBT, or a maximum truth-seeking AI that tries to understand the nature of the universe. And I think this might be the best path to safety, in the sense that an AI that cares about understanding the universe it is unlikely to annihilate humans, because we are an interesting part of the universe. AI is perhaps more dangerous than, say, mismanaged aircraft design or production maintenance, or bad car production, in the sense that it has the potential, however small one may regard that probability, but it is non-trivial. It has the potential of civilizational destruction.
So let's get to it, gentlemen. Simply put, is AI in the wrong hands? Another quick fire round, 30 seconds each, and now we will take it from there. Dror, Globerman, please take the lead.
So there was another interview this week with CBS's 60 Minutes in which Google CEO Sundar Pichai said that society isn't prepared for the rapid advancement of AI. The dangers, he said, keep me up at night.
Oh, wow.
It can be very harmful if deployed wrongly, he said, referring to the concerns we've just raised, its impact on jobs, information, bias, fake news, inexplainability, and others. And he said that laws that guardrail AI advancement are not for a company to decide alone. And so said the CEO of Google.
Berkovitz, your thoughts?
Thank you, Globerman, because I wanted to say it on the first part, and I was looking for the right connection, the right connection to do. The thing is that eventually we will not, people will not have it in their hand. It's like first phase of new technology that everybody is enthusiastic and we get addicted to it, but eventually it being used by the countries and by companies and individuals will have less power.
Last but not least, Professor Doron Friedman, your take?
Okay, 2 points. Let's see. First, it's important to know, I think AI is fascinating. Progress is huge. Nevertheless, we should also be careful that some people who are promoting this agenda are maybe trying to overhype it. You know, I'm not sure that all this discussion about the danger of the AI and pose AI is not at least partially fed by as a marketing stunt. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Something?
Please.
Maybe it's the right.
The second thing is that indeed.
Gentlemen, it's hard to hear you both at the same time, so let's allow Mr. Globerman to just reply, and then you'll get the stage on you, Professor.
From my point of view, the change is already happening very rapidly, and I'm more impressed by the reviews of users than the reviews of the companies themselves. And users are stunned all over around many industries by the potential of those tools and completely disregard the dangers.
Professor?
Yeah, so here I do agree that there's a lot of power. Okay, there's a lot of power in search engines. There's a lot of power in social media. And it looks like this wave of AI is going to be at least as powerful as these amazing revolutions. And indeed, as you were starting to lead this discussion, the question is, where do we have this power? As we know from the discussion in Israel, on other matters, it's not good to keep the power in the hands of one body.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, democratization of AI, so to speak. But gentlemen, yeah, I do want to allow me to get a bit more philosophical here. Maybe the framing is wrong, as in AI will never be ethical. It is merely a tool, and a tool, like any tool, is being used for better, for worse, good and bad. Is the ethical debate redundant, Berkovitz?
Can you repeat the question?
I'm asking whether our attempt to attribute or allocate values of good and bad to AI is a wrong framing to begin with.
I think this debate was already won. I mean, it's not the question is how the good and the bad will the amount of good, amount of bad, how we will
balance
respond
it, how they
to the new
interact,
how we will respond to what we see and how we'll organize.
So in this respect, Dror, Globerman, deep fake is making a lot of headlines here. But if society is already, or Western society at least, is already in a post-truth era to an extent, does it really matter whether the false is human-made or machine-made?
What do you mean? Are you giving up this fight on truth?
No, I'm merely asking questions here.
No, I'm sure you don't, and we really care deeply about making people more aware and more knowledgeable about the way they consume their data and the sources that they give trust to. And now it will be I don't know, 20-fold harder to understand, to identify which source you can trust and which not. And even more so, let's be aware, social media, which I definitely like to compare to, was merely the technology that connected between people, that let me see what other people publish, right? AI will be the identity itself with which I interact, whom creates the data and creates intimacy with me. This is a whole different level of communication. This is a whole different level of power of persuasion on each and every one of us. And just imagine the potential of holding the power to persuade people in such an intimate way and pushing data or feeling or opinions through their brains in a way that they cannot resist or comprehend. This is where we're going at. By the way, this is not too far away from social media. You know why? Because my imagination is limited to what I know. This will be way far off.
Professor Friedman, so is the debate useless? Has the AI train, left the station?
No. That wasn't my intention. I think there are risks, there are serious risks, and it's urgent to debate the impact of technology in general, social media with and without AI, the debate. I think it's not so much about good and evil, but I really like the debate about power, okay, and transparency. The people should be educated and know the way they're being manipulated today and will be manipulated in the future. We should be educating the public as we can. So we can't go back.
We're constantly being manipulated. The methods differ or change, but manipulation remains. So as we're nearing the end of our discussion, Uri Berkovitz, should we yearn for the yesterday or long for the tomorrow?
We are dealing with American songs now. Anyway, one point that I wanted to raise is that we have to remember that AI gives us tools that makes things that used to be thought as intellectual work, and that they will make this kind of intellectual work more like a commodity, and will leave much more space for people to express what they really feel, what they really want, and what they really imagine. And I think this is the best time maybe for the silent majority. In social media, we used to say that 1% produce content, 9% comment, and 90% are just reading. Now the AI gives a lot of opportunities to the 90% to express themselves professionally, artistically, in a way wasn't possible until now.
Yes, that appears to be the zeitgeist, no matter what angle you're looking at it. Uri Berkovitz, Professor Doron Friedman, and Dror Globerman, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been fascinating speaking to you. We really do appreciate your time and insight. Thank you so very much. 2 minutes break, and then we talk about the Disney prison. What does Doron DeSantis want?